Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. I'm glad you could be with me today, February 13th, 2025. I'm going to do a quick flip through of this winter journal for you, and then I'm going to get started with some more, I'm going to show you how I improved the papers from yesterday and finished them, and then I'm going to get started on more papers using a different method. Okay, I said I was going to redo the signature string in here, and I did that. And in one little snippet I found in the winter, so I just covered them with, let me see if you can see that. I covered them with the glitter glue. I don't see any sparkle happening here, but they are covered with silver sparkles. I don't know how I can tilt that. I don't know if you'll see the other pages either then. So, okay, I just added a little thing to the back because it looks like a snowball. I had that in my stash. I covered this pocket with two things. Did find a little blue snippet. Ended up not using much of that paper except tiny scraps. I chose all this type of paper because it reminded me of the wind, and it kind of resembled the designs in the fabric. I added some torn strips to there so I could use all that paper. Tucked a couple little birds in there. All the pages are, I tried to create some interest by doing all the page edges differently. I changed this pocket to the paper I use on this journal, but it's not Mamagami. I didn't like the thickness of that paper. This side is just a tuck, and the tab makes it everything stay in there tight, and I think this is pretty much all I use of that paper. I forgot, this side is a pocket. I forgot to tell you that these are actually bags, pockets. Those are in another video, I think. That's toilet paper. And then embossed and inked. Here's the pages with the glitter glue, because it reminded me of the glistening snow. Little chickadee. I used every snippet of that paper everywhere I could. Tabs. More tabs. I put this here because it reminded me of snowflakes. Especially the other day, they were just big fluffy balls. I took these and stapled them on the edges. There's another one there. Another piece of that paper. Another sparkly edge. Another pocket. One of the torn paper strips to add to old photos. The light at all hours, casting a blue aura early and late, and in full sun, softened the hard edges. And then this is just a girl in the snow. More swirly. That reminded me of the wind. And then finally, another shabby clip. There is my snowflake. Let me make sure, I have to stand up to make sure. There, you can see it. Frosted glass encased in ice. And the snippet I cut it out of. Little boys in winter clothes. I do believe that's snow on the ground. In the meantime, we're happy. And I like this because I like the sky. Cut that out of a bulletin. And this last page is also a slim pocket made from that same paper that kind of looks like peeled bark. And that's the end. And I can't do anything about that. Okay, so that's the only other thing I have to do is I found these snowflake stamps from, I keep all my Christmas stamps separate, and when I got those foam stamps yesterday, I found them. Okay, back to this. So I'm going to do as I said, I have a bunch of loose stacks of assorted copy paper and sketchbook, very light sketchbook paper. So I'm going to make pages for a new journal. Listen to this crunchy loveliness. So I did this yesterday. These are the ones I went back and reworked that were just a blob. There's another one. This is that one that I accidentally tried to do the dots on and got mud. This is another one. I can't remember. No, it wasn't the brayer one. This was the brayer one. And I didn't really like it until I added the orange and yellow. And then these are a couple I just left as is. And then this was a lift off from yesterday. Okay, so I moved on to a different technique. Oh no, this is another one I did. Reworked and added more color that I liked. Yeah, that's the same bunch as yesterday. Okay, these are the new ones with a different technique that I'm going to do today. And I think it works better. And then there's the second one. And then there's the third one. So, you'll need the same things. Watercolor, I'm just using these. My paper stack. way over here, I think. I hope. Yeah. Some of my paper stack. Okay. Stencils. And I did add some more because eventually I got bored just using the same old things. So I added the ones I know work with this blender brush. Some of my stencils that are too thin simply will not work. Like this. From the Dollar Tree. Love that stencil, but I'll ruin it if I try to use it with this blender brush. And I don't want that because I love that stencil. So I could use ink with it. So that's what you'll need. If you want to do some brayer, you can use that. If you want to do some circle mark making as yesterday, you can do that. So what I am going to do, I probably have to spray this again already. Okay, I figured out the more I practice this, the more I learn. I figured out that this blender brush, you have to keep wiping the water out of it. If you push it down when you're in there and you release all the water that it holds, just like these hold a ton of ink, the first time you do it, they don't hold a lot of water, but as you keep going, they get more water in there. So you absolutely have to keep wiping them off to get the water out of there. So this time I'm going to start with, I have assorted brushes as well. Same ones as yesterday, wash brushes, a couple. What are they? Round brushes. Okay, so let me just get some. Let me get my water away from my coffee. Can't tell you how many times I've dipped my paintbrush in my coffee, which is now cold. Okay, let me just get some color here. And I don't have to make it too dark, but I think I'm going to go with a medium dark and hope I don't have too much water in here. Let me get it in an empty pan here. Okay. Okay. So that's where I'm going to go, in there. And I'm going to try to be as creative as possible and switch these colors up a little bit. And I can already see I have purple in my brush. I washed this yesterday. But that's okay. Kind of like the two-tone effect. And I decided it's much better like that. And I'm going to actually go backwards because watercolor, you would not put dark to light. You would go light to dark. But I'm going to go backwards in this. So that I'm not going to lose these after I go over them with a wash. And initially I was watching someone who they were using watercolor, but then they were drawing on top with black. And I realized that that was working, but it was working for them because they were going over top with black, but I was just seemed to be getting mud, not what I wanted. So I'm going to leave a lot of white space today before I even begin. So I'm going to take a different color here. Do a little stenciling with a different color. I think I'm going to get some orange. Let me get another brush and mix some up. And I'm really not going to get a good pull off. You can soak the top and get a good pull for a second sheet, but it's not that great. So I'm not going to do it. So hopefully whoops, that's not wet at all. Let me mix some more here. I should have just did one spray. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, when you get so much water in there that it's soaked, and I still have brown in here, I washed this entire thing with Bell's naphtha. It should not be brown. There we go. So that just tells you how much stuff, because that's not previous ink either. That's previous watercolor. So kind of what you have to do probably is soak these brushes. Okay. One more. Which one? I think this one. What color? Okay, let's just stay on the warm side of the wheel. And hope this comes out red. Still brown a little. Okay. Let's go over here. Do a little. Okay. Let's go up here. Okay. Oh, that one smeared a little bit. I put too much pressure. So it's just like when you're doing with ink, just skim, don't press. Okay. Now the fun part. Okay, so let me get some of these others here and see what I might want for a medium wash. Purple red. I might go with a lighter orange, ochre, yellow. See what happens. Now I can either spray this. I'll show you. I can spray this. And I can do that. Or I can just do washes, kind of like that. So I'm just going to try to fill in my spray there. And it's already soaked in and drying. Now I'm not gonna remove this lettering, so I'm not worried about it. The only thing I can do is get some things to blend in more than others. Okay. And this one I kind of felt like I went too dark with the lettering. So that's why I went with a more medium. And then I'm going to try to keep the washes in the background as a light. So let me get another orange here. And I'm just going to do this for demonstration. I can just put some odd shapes wherever, instead of doing another wash. And as you can see, I'm not removing that lettering. Okay? But I'm still using a different color. So, I don't think I want to add a green at this point. Let me try to get some yellow. Yeah, I think I'm still going to try to leave some white so I can add another color without getting mud. And that's probably going to be like an opposite. Okay. So I should let that dry, or I should dry it. And I can go in there with another stencil in those white areas, or I could just continue to use my brush. So I think I want, since apparently I didn't clean those out well enough, I know I'm not going to get a turquoise out of there that's clean, and I'd rather have a clean color. So I'm just going to go in there with some turquoise. And I'm trying not to make it as dark as my purple. Now I could do that as a wash too. Or wet and wet is what I mean. A little variation in here. And all in all, I think that comes out much cleaner, much more pure color. I really didn't want to remove every little speck of white from there, but it is what it is. Where are we? 30. So I think what I'll do is dry this and do some more stenciling in there where it's wet on wet. Wait, let me just see what happens if I add a touch of turquoise in there. I mean, it's not soaking wet, but I probably should add some darker orange too. Tie that in. Whoops, it's a little too dark. It's okay. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this off and dry it. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, sorry about the camera jiggle if I did that. So I can do two things here. I can put another wash or another stencil very dark. I can try to get more of these letters to blend in by making it the same. And I think that's what I might do, just to see what happens. It's only paper, right? So that's blending in enough. Let me try to blend this in. And I also would like a little more over here. A little more design over here. Hopefully, where did I get the... Okay, that's the wrong one. Let me get the blue purple. Now I also discovered I do have black in this palette. These pans, I didn't realize I had black. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, did that. That's good. Maybe a little over here as well. So I think going backwards helped me not have things as muddy and keep the colors pure, be able to add some light colors, and still keep all of everything I want, you know. So I think I could just probably add some spatters in another bright color. And that will be it. And then I'm going to soak these overnight and get them thoroughly clean before I even attempt to use them again, because that brown was from yesterday and I thoroughly washed those brushes with Vel's naphtha, which should get out everything. Okay, let me try to mix up some bright yellow or bright green here. See if that'll work. And by the way, I also have a white. Didn't realize it was white. Thought it was skin tone. So let me spray that and show you. Oops, now I'm making it skin tone again. See, that's white. So I'm going to try to get a very, very bright yellow here. And do some spatters on top. And hope they show up. No, not white enough. Okay, color B attempt. Let's try pink. Let's try pink again. Because that yellow isn't showing up at all. Whoops. Okay. Pink appears to be. So I'm just going to go with the pink. Okay. So since I'm not worried about ruining this, I'm just going to try something else that probably would have worked, was to add another similar wash up into this. If I wanted to make that lettering blend in a little better. But I'm still getting a little bit mud. So I don't think I would. I think it was better to use the stencil to go in there. Yeah, I could have just sprayed it, put a purple in there, and then made those blend out more if I wanted to. But it's starting to look kind of muddy to me, so I think it was better to use this stencil, cover it up to blend in a little more, and that's it. So, okay, I think we're heading on 40, but that's probably what I'm going to use. I like it better than day one. And then I'm going to come up with some more things. Let me get all of these. There, that was from yesterday. And where'd you go? I'm going to come up with more doing like this probably the next time. So, okay everyone, this has actually been a lot of fun for me. I hope you find it fun and useful too. I really like that one, but I didn't like it until I added the orange and yellow. I like that. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to move on do more experimenting. And remember, I'm going backwards than what watercolor should be, which is light to dark. But as you can see, I did not lose any of my lettering, even spraying it. So on this paper, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, thanks everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.